We're live.
Yay.
Yay.
Welcome back, John.
I'm back. Even though I technically wasn't gone. I was still in my house. I just wasn't able to podcast.
Yeah, do you want to mention why or?
Yeah, sure. Last week, we had to rush Vagel to the vet, and he had to get knocked out a little bit as they did some work on him. They did some x-rays and stuff. So I pretty much came home with Bagel around the time the podcast was supposed to happen, and he was very loopy. He was very high that day, so unfortunately, I had to keep an eye on him. Make sure he was fine.
Sure. And now he has a gross paw.
Now he has a turkey leg.
Yeah.
Now he is part turkey.
It's a very good image if you can.
But
find
like
it.
now, when you pet that leg, now it's like at that point where the fur is growing back, so it's like super velvety soft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's weird petting him and just being like, "Here's normal fur. Oh, it's super soft."
Did he, when it first was shaved, did he like look at it like, what is this? Look at this weird thing.
He was very unimpressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missed his nice gloves, his nice boots.
He goes outside with the one exposed leg, so it just looks goofy.
Sure. Sure.
Cute.
We got some in the chat. Happy Animal Crossing Eve. Happy Animal Crossing Eve indeed. I'm very excited to download that tonight.
Yeah, man. It's Doom Eternal Eve. I already have it preloaded.
I'm downloading that tonight as well. I got that pre-installed.
In fact, I think
Friday Eve.
I think people are saying you can actually play it already, so I'm wasting valuable Doom time doing this.
I mean, I saw
Doom got released early.
You could, if you got on like New Zealand with like the Xbox, if you just switched your region over, they would let you go. I've also seen down here, GameStop announced that they will sell Doom a day early, but they won't sell Animal Crossing a day early, just to try to like disperse the crowds.
Oh, okay.
Which, to be fair, that's actually really smart.
That's a pretty smart one. Although I also heard that they are just selling Animal Crossing early as well.
Sure.
And yeah.
But is it live for you guys? Like, can you play it on Steam right now in North America?
It's through Bethesda launcher. So if you buy it on Steam, I think it opens their garbage launcher.
I'll check the store right now.
Yeah, you can buy it through Steam still. But anyways, it looks like it goes live at 10-hour time. So Eastern
That's
midnight.
the usual time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it says coming 19 March. Yeah, game will unlock in 2 hours.
Yep.
I'm into it.
Well, we'll help you.
It's already got 411 reviews. Very positive.
Awesome, I guess.
I mean, the reviews that came out are really high for both the games. I'm quite excited.
Yeah, 90 and 91, I think, between them. Doom's got the 90.
Was that the Metacritic?
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I remembered seeing like kind of like 8.
This was like a really good week for game releases. Like all like not a bunch of 90 games came out in the past week.
Whole month, man. Like we talked about Ori last week.
Been good. Good time.
Yeah.
Good time to be a gamer.
It is.
Well, considering you can't leave your house.
Exactly. I'm home a lot. A lot. So I was thinking, and I heard this is like a sentiment that Austin Walker said over on the Waypoint Radio podcast. It's going to be like, we're going to look back on years from now and be like, yo, do you remember that March in 2020 when we got to play so many video games?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Also,
because like,
as somebody who has had trouble finding good employment here, this has just been my life.
Sure.
So
yeah, this quarantine's just like, okay, so I don't have to leave the house as much or as little as I was. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's probably pretty similar for you, John, just because you work from home.
Well, here's the thing: like all my work trips are canceled. Like I had a trip in April, I had a trip in May, I had a trip in June. They're all gone.
Right.
Yeah.
How's like the stores been for you guys?
Fine.
It depends. We went grocery shopping today because we were going to pick up a couple things we were missing, and they had finally restocked a number of things, but except for like obviously like toilet paper and that. But like we went 2 days prior or something like that. Our grocery store was like super empty. There were no eggs in the egg aisle. Like there was just tons of empty zones, and it was like really like kind of creepy.
It's weird. Yeah.
It's gross because it feels apocalyptic, but that's only because hoarders did it. It's not actually because of the virus.
Yeah,
it's like
I know that's the
buying.
worst thing.
Yeah,
I did go to Costco last weekend.
Yeah.
Line out the door to get in, which was
Oh my god,
new.
all the videos of Costco lines are ridiculous.
This was the crazy thing though. Inside the store, because we went like when it opened, because we're like, okay, it's gonna get nuts. Let's just go when it's open, get it over with. It's gonna be bad no matter what we do.
Yeah.
We get in the store. Store was totally fine, except for the back where the toilet paper was.
What?
That's where everyone went. So like when we checked out, there was like one person in front of us. Like there wasn't long lines. The store wasn't full. Everyone just was flooded to the back. And we could tell there was a one, like, bulk toilet paper per person, because everyone had only one. And you'd think there'd be more if everyone was panic buying. And it was crazy listening to people whisper their strategies on how to get more. Like it would be like a couple shopping and each of them have a cart so that they can each go get one. I saw a lady get a thing of toilet paper, bring her cart a few aisles away, park her cart, go back and get another toilet paper. And then, we're not getting any toilet paper. We're fine. We just bought a bunch of chicken. No one's hoarding the chicken, which is great. So I'm here for that.
It's funny because if you look at real food, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like our grocery store, like the meat aisle was empty. Like nothing was there.
I did see that at Safeway. Yeah. Bread was going pretty fast at one of the stores I was at.
Yep.
No milk. Milk is never getting hoarded. I've noticed that one. It's easy to get milk. But yeah, weird times.
The funny thing we had was like all the gluten-free stuff was all left on the shelves. No one wanted the gluten-free stuff.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some video games though, because this is the top down perspective, and it is March 19th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
John, we missed you last week, so why don't you start us off with what you've been playing?
All right, just like everyone else, I've been playing Ori 2, even Orier.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. I finished it.
Me too.
Nice. What'd you guys think?
Great. I like it.
I love that game.
Yep. All right. I haven't played too much of it, but I was enjoying it a lot. I like the focus on combat. I like that there's actual bosses now. And the exploration just feels just as good.
My one gripe with it is I wish there were more bosses, because the bosses are so fun. They're so good. I wish there was more of them.
Yeah, I kind of just liked all of it. There wasn't anything I really quite disliked. I kind of mentioned there was the spider boss last time was frustrating for me, but nothing that like stopped me from the game. I 100%ed it. I found every single thing.
Yeah, same.
And what's really great for me is the beating the game achievement is glitched, so I didn't get that. And the collecting 100% of the collectibles is glitched, so I didn't get that achievement either. So I got 100 points not unlocking for me. And the devs know about it, and they're working on like a patch, so I'm just waiting for that. That ending is fantastic.
It's so good. Yep. Very, very good.
Holy smokes, what a fantastic ending. That's got to be up there with one of my like favorite video game endings at this point.
That's pretty high praise. It's very good.
Wow.
It is a very good ending.
I liked it. Like I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing. I haven't really thought about it, but I'd probably put it in like a top 10.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it either. It's very good. It's a good ending.
Yeah, I like it. But John, you're liking it more than the first one because you bounced off the first one pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I've since beat the first one. Played through the definitive edition.
Yeah,
that was game clearing last year. My main gripes with Ori 1 were no boss fights. I hated the chase scenes by comparison.
They still have chase scenes in this one.
Oh, I'm not shocked. I know I've already done a couple, but I'm just thinking like if they had both or had not focused as much on chase scenes, it wouldn't have been as jarring. But I feel like they kind of answered that so far from what I played of Ori 2.
I don't
even
remember
have like speed runs now.
I don't even remember Ori 1 that much, but I do feel the chase scenes are more intuitive in how you move through them. Like they're easier to read. Specifically, that tree in Ori 1 is fucking terrible. That is a terrible sequence. I've never had any problem in any of the stuff Ori 2 does. It's very easy to read and respond accordingly. And in turn, it feels fucking great when you finish a chase scene, because it's like the music's swelling and you didn't fuck up. It just feels really cool. And then usually you have like a big thing at the end.
I feel like you can feel the kind of experience that they gained from Ori 1 and Ori 2 in their development. I think they learned a lot of lessons from that first one.
We were all saying there's a lot of Hollow Knight in this second
There's
game.
a bunch of that, yeah.
Yeah, like as soon as I paused the game and saw like the badge system or whatever you want to call that, I was like, wow, this is they borrowed a lot, didn't they?
They did. Yep.
But to good effect, and having more NPCs in the side quest and the little hub area.
Actual dialogue, I was shocked by too.
Yeah. How far in are you? Have you gotten to like?
No.
There's definitely a point that you will know.
No, I can tell you right now with confidence. No.
Okay.
But no, I am enjoying it.
Yeah, I do have something I need to tell you, John, because I know how you play games. Do not just go for the 100% completion in every area as you reach it, because I did that, and it will drive you crazy because you literally cannot until certain points in the game.
Well, I mean, it's a Metroidvania. I pretty much expected that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I'm still gonna do it, and then when we're like, all right, can't do that, put a marker there, etc.
Can you put markers in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but it highlights the items if you get near enough to them anyway.
It does, yeah. The map's very
I never
good.
bothered, because I did Ori 1 on stream. I never bothered 100%ing it, but we got like close, like 97. So
sure, yeah.
What are you playing on?
Xbox.
Okay, good, because we actually talked about what is John playing it on. You're playing an original Xbox?
An X.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know you had an X.
I've had one for a year and a half.
Okay, well, news to me. We thought
I barely play my Xbox, so that's probably why.
Yeah, we thought you were on an OG, so we were really curious how it was running for you, because I'm playing it on an X, and it runs very poorly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
You've had no issues?
No, not really.
That's weird. That's crazy, because I played it pre the day one patch and post the day one patch.
I was gonna say, I know everyone complained pre-patch.
Yeah, no, I still had a ton of issues after that patch.
I still do have my original Xbox One. I can run it on that and test it for you later if you want. Because I got the physical version.
I'm assuming it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're curious to see what I'm dealing with, or what we were dealing with before.
Now, so I might actually check that later.
That's weird, because on PC I do have a few hiccups as well, even like with audio specifically, not video.
I had no audio issues.
It's so weird.
So the issues I'm running into, I said this last week, but for John, tons and tons of hitching. Just like I'm jumping around and the game just freezes. And it'll come back after like a solid 2 seconds. They're not even just.
Now, I knew they said they'd have some issues that they're still patching out after launch, but like that literally is what you described as the issues I had playing it on my original Xbox.
Yeah.
With the first game.
I also get a lot of fast traveling. The game looks like it's about to explode. It looks so broken when I fast travel. Like it'll stay there for a while, already spinning, like trying to figure out, okay, where exactly we're going. Then the whole screen goes white, and then just colors just flash, and then it starts to then it literally builds the other scene like piece by piece really quickly. All the colors are wrong. Like I'm saying, like pinks and shit, and then it like comes back together, and then it hitches for a second, and then it's good to go. Every time I'm fast traveling.
That sounds like it's catching on fire.
Yeah, literally. It reminded me of when my 360 like red ringed and I was playing Batman, and all the colors like it got really fluorescent and pink, and I was like, "Is this a weird Scarecrow Joker trick?" And then my Xbox broke. It looks like that every time.
The best trick of all. Trick. Yeah.
Every time I fast travel, like I do not know why it's running so poorly for me. The biggest one though is the hitching of going in and out of the map, because I do that every like 15 seconds.
Now that
almost.
I did notice.
Okay,
it takes a while to load the map. Like, and I'm just like,
and getting out. Like the game has to pause for a sec to figure out what's going on, which is annoying. But I'm glad to hear you're not getting those issues. I'm curious. Well, I wonder why I'm getting all those issues.
I mean, maybe I just don't. I haven't played the game in a while, so maybe I just don't remember them. But I definitely don't think that it's that. Like I played it on stream, so there's footage of me playing it.
Yeah, no, I'm mine's just running weird for some reason. I don't know what's going on. And I liked the first one. They got me on record saying I liked the first one, so they should be appeasing me.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Other than that, I've been playing Voxelgram. I'm actually playing through it right now. Playing through it on the Switch at the moment, trying to get through it. I'm at puzzle like 120, 130.
Okay.
I think I'm on puzzle 3 of that game.
Yeah, there's about 170 outside of the tutorials, or something like that. 160, 170. So nearly done it.
Yeah,
I am enjoying it though. It is nice to see 3D Picross back. That's why I'm a bit surprised that Sean, that you're not super into it right now. But I guess with considering everything else,
it's kind of an issue of everything else and Murder by Numbers primarily.
Murder by Numbers.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's fair.
I had mentioned this to Paul. Are you playing with the touch screen?
Nope.
No, controller, which is what I was doing. The x-axis is inverted when you rotate the cube.
Not really, no.
Yeah, it is.
I have not noticed it, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure it's inverted, and that was throwing me off quite a bit.
I don't remember
like
this
it's like clockwise and counterclockwise, which is what I've been realizing. So I got used to it pretty fast. Yeah, I have 133 done out of 170. So like, I could wrap this up tonight if I tried hard enough.
Sure. Yeah.
But the reason I haven't been really focusing too much on it is because I'm now playing Final Fantasy 14 online.
I have seen this because it shows me on the Xbox when you're playing PC stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just, whenever you guys play PC stuff, because you're like signed into the like Microsoft app at the same time or whatever. So I see you on my Xbox friends list of what you're playing.
Sure.
And there's a little PC icon. So I've been seeing this. I am fascinated. Why are you playing Final Fantasy 14 online?
So originally I was going to play it because Reese loves the game. She's like fully done through the game. She plays it weekly, practically daily. Like it's her favorite game.
Like it's a problem.
So okay.
All right then.
But last week for stream, or like I guess 2 weeks ago, I asked on Twitter, like, hey, I don't actually know what I want to stream today. Anyone have any suggestions? And Reese snuck in and said, play 14. And a bunch of people were like, yo, I'd watch that. So I was like, Reese, do you want to teach me how to play Final Fantasy 14? And she did a stream with me last week, had me go through the beginning stuff in 14. So I own the game because I wanted to play specifically as a Vieira. So I had to buy the game. So I've got all the content in that, which gives me 30 days.
Okay.
So I've been playing out the free 30 days basically.
Right. Okay.
I'm assuming you're planning to pay past that.
Not at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you playing? And I don't really know 14 that much. I just know a lot of people kind of hate the first like 40 hours if you don't just use like the level jump to the good stuff. How are you doing this?
I mean, I haven't played an MMO since like Ragnarok Online, but this is pretty much what I expected.
Yeah.
So you're playing like the beginning stuff? You're not jumping to what everyone.
I am playing the beginning stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I can definitely see why people complain about that. It is very slow, but also it's been a nice chill thing to play while I'm like doing something else. Like thanks to all the schedule shifting I've had to do, I've had to like work around other things, so I'll keep it in the background and like do a mission while I'm like working on like a spreadsheet or something.
Okay.
So it hasn't been too bad.
I heard it gets so much better later on. I stopped playing it because I
Everyone
fucking hate A Realm
has
Reborn.
told me that.
I fucking hate it.
Everyone says Realm Reborn is worse than everything else they've done.
I've
and apparently like
soon
they're remaking the Realm Reborn stuff apparently. So in the next couple months they're gonna redo Realm Reborn so it's not as slow.
Okay.
But
that could be cool, I guess.
It's too late for me. I'm there.
It sucks, dude. That shit sucks. The beginning stuff. I want to see that stuff that's real cool that people tell me about. But they're like, the only catch is you have like 100 hours to get to that. It's like, oh, fuck it then. Or maybe I'll buy that like skip or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm assuming you can buy just like a thing where it's like, hey, here's a fully leveled character, so you can go right to the new content.
You can get like a level 50 boost or whatever it is they call.
You can get a boost to the start of whatever content you want, basically, like for the stuff coming up. So, I don't know. I've considered it. Are you enjoying
so far?
it?
I've been. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'm not an MMO guy.
Right.
But
Well, it sounds like you're not going to get to the good stuff if you only have a month.
Probably not. But like, I mean, it might be one of those things where I'm like, hey, like, do you want me to like hop in and play a game for a bit, and I'll like reconnect my account or something for a bit.
Sure.
It's nice I at least haven't had the experience.
Sure.
Because like I said, last MMO I played was Ragnarok Online, so it's been a while.
Sure.
And I want to see what all the hubbub was. I can definitely see why people like it, but I don't know if it's going to be my thing, especially considering. I was going to say, especially considering how limiting my time was for playing games at home, but I guess that this might have been the right time for it.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
So we'll see.
Yeah, very true.
The best time to be playing video games, or so I'm told.
Yep.
Also, it's great to play if you just like have videos to watch or podcasts to listen to, because you don't have to pay attention to like anything except for your buttons.
Or if you're waiting for something to render, or just like all these other things. So
yeah,
I mean, it's been a good out for a lot of different reasons.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right, Paul, keep going.
All right. Talked about Ori. Yo, let me talk to you about Mega Man Zero, because somebody got me that Zero collection because they wanted me to try those out, so I've been playing them. That first game sucks.
Yeah, you hadn't played the Zero games before?
No,
dude, they're not nice. Like they're fun games, but like they are not nice.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, apparently this series gets really good. Also, story stuff wise, it's actually really okay so far. There's weird shit going on. That first game fucking sucks. Holy fuck.
That first game is brutal. That first game is super rough. I grew up with that series, and I'm like, I never want to play through the first game again.
That first game fucking sucks. I think it really dawned on me when I finally beat a boss, and then I had to escape, and I got crushed instantly by the like level falling down on me. And I had to do all of it again.
That sounds like that game.
Also, the run up to that boss is just like a bunch of corridors with shit everywhere to like try to dodge or fight. So here's the big problem, right? And this is my fault. I'm going to admit that. I'm going to admit this is my fault. But
don't tell me you played on hard. Don't tell me you played on hard.
No. Well, yes, kind of, but not actually.
God damn it, Paul.
I didn't know how to use elemental attacks, so I was playing on vanilla the whole way through until the final dudes.
Oh.
So I was just like
so you were fighting everyone without weaknesses?
Without any weaknesses at all.
Oh my god,
just using sword. And it was so hard.
Holy shit, dude.
It was so hard.
Why?
It was so hard. I was like, why does nobody talk about this game as the hardest video game ever made? Like, Dark Souls isn't this hard. Like, what? And then that dude was just like, okay, just like hold down the like attack. Oh my god, there's weaknesses. Just like the light bulb went off, and there's just like level, just like going through it. Because by this time I've been forged in the flames of like just the worst shit.
You got good enough to play that game hard now because of that.
I'm so mad. Also, that game is like, I was saying, that game is like the perfect definition of when a game has a real cool idea, but you can tell they haven't figured out how to implement it yet, because there's so many cool ideas in that I'm excited that for like better versions of that game to come out, basically, or for me to play them.
Yeah, when you get to 0-2, you're going to feel a world of difference. 0-2 feels like what 0 should have been, from what I remember. But it's been so long since I've gone back, I don't think I remember everything.
I'm so excited.
0-3 was,
So I played 5 hours of it to just get to the end. What I'm told is the end, where like the base is being attacked, and apparently it's like split into 4 big parts or whatever. And I was told, yo, like, you can do this another day. You're going to be here a while still. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So that's where I'm at. I'm excited to get that done because I hear 2, 3, and 4 are way better. and I'm really, really excited because there's some really fucking cool ideas in there. That first game is just terrible, though. It plays like shit. I really don't like it.
No, the series dramatically improves in the jump from 1 to 2. And I loved 1 as a kid, but now I'm like, no, I would never go back and play all of that again.
Dude, I was likening it to like people that liked Mega Man 1, like as a kid. Like that is a game that you play when you're a kid, and then you like it forever. And if you don't, Mega Man 1's terrible. It's one of the worst games.
No, you're totally right. This is the perfect comparison.
Yeah.
4 did not grab my interest enough to make me to finish it, but I finished 1, 2, and 3. And I definitely remember liking 2 and 3 a lot more.
I mean, the guy who got it for me, like, said 2 is his favorite one out of them. So I'm excited to see that one. And then, like, I'll do the X ones after to check those out as well. But it's been fun.
Yeah. But, like, hopefully you enjoy all the story stuff, because they did some crazy story stuff in it that I liked. And Inti Creates is now, like, one of my favorite devs. So, like, they've made a lot of cool stuff since. But you can definitely tell, like, this was them figuring shit out.
So far, like, the story stuff is what's keeping me going. It's so fucking cool so far. I'm excited to see where it goes. And now my weighted clothing is off, so nothing can stop me in that game, basically.
You did it.
In more recent news, the Resident Evil 3 remake demo came out today, and it is about 15 minutes long if you play it normally. I played it for 4.5 hours. So,
Jesus Christ, Paul.
Yeah.
Were you knifing Nemesis? What were you doing?
I did just like go around, collect all the ammo I could, and see if you can even take out Nemesis. Pretty sure you can't, because I put about 100 bullets in him of different weaponry and like 2 grenades and tried to knife him a few times. Anyways, that game's amazing. That game is going to be like my game of the year, probably. Well, that's probably not true. There's actually a big problem I've realized with these games, and it's that when you have a series that keeps remaking like its classics, there's some diminishing returns, where the biggest like holy shit this is amazing thing was when they remade the first one on GameCube and then released it in HD later on. And then 2 was a little less so, and I feel like 3 is a little less so even still, but
it's because you already know the story. Like,
that's the problem.
There's probably not going to be many surprises. I'm sure there's going to be some.
It's a weird difference where, like, it's not I'm excited to see where they go with it. It's I'm excited to see how they pay homage to the thing I already know.
Changed things.
Yeah. So it doesn't have, like, as much staying power, maybe, in my mind. But either way, Nemesis is a motherfucker. He is scary as shit. And people thought Mr. X was scary. That's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how does he compare to Mr. X from Remake 2?
He consistently chases you when he's around. Like, you leave the room, he will like go into that room, and even if you're in a safe room, he'll just wait for you. Like, he wants you dead. He wants to fucking kill you. Or like you get too far, he'll just like jump off the screen onto a roof somewhere or whatever. I don't know where the fuck he goes. And then he jumps down in front of you randomly because he wants to fucking murder you.
Oh, that sounds amazing!
It's fucking terrifying.
Oh, fuck, I haven't played through Remake 2 yet. Now I want to play this.
Yeah. And then, of course, like, Jill...
When does 3 come out? It's not next month, is
April
it?
3rd.
It is next month. Yeah.
It is next month, okay.
It's a couple weeks away.
Well, you'll have plenty of time, because it's not like Final Fantasy's coming out or anything.
I mean, a week. It's a week. Digital download. Yeah. I can get through this probably in that time.
Right on.
Jill's a badass because she should be. She's fucking ex-military and, like a special tactics squad. So she has like the dodge that if you do a perfect dodge, you can like click the aim button and she'll automatically just like aim at a zombie's head and fucking destroy him after the dodge.
Nice.
And shit like that. Oh, dude, the game's so good. It's so good. I can't wait to get into more of it. But
in your opinion,
how good is
does it feel to 2?
Sorry, how does it what? Feel?
What Sean said? Yeah, he said, how does it... Yeah, Sean said, how does it feel?
How does it feel?
How good was it? But
sorry.
It plays like 2. It plays like 2, but with the characters that like... with a character that knows how to like move around and dodge stuff. And yeah, very cool. It's very cool.
So you'd say it feels like an actual progression from 2 to 3.
It feels like if you were to take like put more action into the game without going what they did in like 6 with explosions and actually put it into like how it moves. That's what they did here, basically. It's like still a horror thing, but there's definitely more action and like you feel like you can move around better. So like the step
from like 4 to 5 or from 3 to 4.
Like, it's hard to explain, but like literally the step from 2 to 3 from back in the day, even because there was a dodge move in the original one, but it was just
that's
shitty.
Right. Jill could dodge.
It was just shitty. It's way better in this one, but it's still kind of shitty because everything has to be a little shitty in Resident Evil.
Yeah. So you would say this feels better than Remake 2 did, or?
This definitely feels more like if you wanted more of an action-y thing. If you want more of a horror experience, 2's way more of that so far. Like, Nemesis is more like, this thing is stressful to deal with more than he's like, this thing is like terrifying me, just the fact that he's around, if that makes sense. Yeah. That's all I've been playing.
Sean.
Right on. I meant to talk about this last week and then somehow I just forgot. I played through all of that new Plants vs. Zombies shooter.
The neighborhood one?
The Battle for Neighborville.
Yeah.
It was just randomly on a free weekend for Xbox. And it was co-op, so my buddy and I just played through the entire campaign.
Cool.
I don't know, it's fine. It's nothing great. What's kind of interesting is the hub world when you're selecting your mode. You're playing as your character. It's not just a menu. And you can choose if you're playing as a plant or a zombie, and then there's a section in the middle. Like each of them have their own area, and then there's a section in the middle where you can just fight each other just kind of randomly, similar to like a lobby in Fortnite while it's waiting to like collect everyone. It just kind of has that at all times. That was kind of interesting. I will say though, the boss fights suck. They're so bad because every boss fight has it has like 3 stages, but it's not exactly like the boss is like improving or evolving between stage. It's just here's 3 times the boss is gonna sparkle rainbow for no reason, and now they're invulnerable, and you have to do some bullshit while you wait for that to end, and then you can keep fighting the boss. It's just an annoying padding, and every single boss has it.
Oh man.
So you're doing these like really easy fights, and then it's like, oh, hang on, we got to slow this down a little bit. This needs to take a bit longer. I will say that the final boss is actually pretty good, and it reminded me like a straight up like Ratchet and Clank level boss, where you're just jumping and platforming and doing some cool stuff. So the ending boss is fun. The rest of it's pretty just kind of mediocre. But that game's fine. It's totally whatever.
Yeah.
I also played through all of the Division 2's new DLC, Warlords of New York. Yep. I guess just the campaign. Like I was saying to Paul, I feel like the season pass extra content stuff is more grindy than I want it to be. I like just kind of playing the new missions, seeing what there is for that, and going through them. I liked that DLC quite a bit. The levels were pretty cool. The boss fights were definitely really cool in the environments you go. If you're like some weird underground mine, there was a dude who kept making holograms of himself. That was fun. You're on like a ship. The final boss was pretty fun. It reminded me of, and I didn't play it, but I watched some streams of the raid with all the drones and stuff. There's some of those things come in that final mission, and that was a lot of fun. Because there's a bit more to those fights besides just don't get shot and keep shooting. You have to like go to certain spots and you have to take out different things.
It is cool, the whole like fighting another division or X division agent and him using all of that gadgetry that you use against
and
you.
he can mess you up fast. Like the squad I was with, it was my buddy and then just 2 randos. We were losing, like we were wiping quite a bit, especially compared to the rest of the game where we would wipe pretty much never.
Sure.
This is again story difficulty because that's all you can play the first time through. Yep. But then you get to him and it's like, if 2 of you go down, you might as well just get wiped because there's no way you're going to be able to pick them up.
Yeah, he's rough. For sure.
He's rough, but in like a fun way. Like we actually really had to be like, all right, it is serious mode time. We got to play strategic. We got to play smart. We can't just run and gun. We got to call things out. So that was cool to see. That was a fun mission. I'm looking forward to kind of whatever they're doing next. Division's a fun game.
Yep, for sure.
The numbers just keep getting bigger.
Yep, they do.
And then apart from that, I'm just locked home. Did I mention San Francisco Bay Area is lockdown? Like we're not even supposed to leave. Or I think it's against the law to leave if you don't have a good reason. Yeah.
Or the city. Jesus.
Yeah, like I think I can go to the grocery store and that's about it.
Yeah, like here in Calgary, like all public situations are like shut down. Like there's no like gyms, there's no
right. Yeah, no gyms is really annoying me for sure. But yeah, so just playing tons of games these days. Yep. But let's do some of the news. A bunch of like pretty big news came up. We got the specs for both the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Let's start with the X, just because it kind of came out first. I think it was Monday they dropped this, maybe Tuesday. Can't quite remember.
I think you're right with Monday.
But I actually brought up a comparison guide too. We'll get to that in a bit. This seems like a beefy console, the Series X. I don't know how much you guys were following this with all the kind of additions they're adding. 12 teraflops.
I filed a couple things, so
yeah. If anything jumped out to you, there was some discussion about it needing proprietary external drives.
Yeah, Seagate specifically made like little tiny expansion 1 terabyte memory cards that the Xbox One uses. The Xbox One X, or sorry, the Xbox Series X. It still will let you use USB drives, but you cannot load games on them. The drive you have to move the game onto the actual Xbox SSD drive to play the game.
And it's actually more specific than that. Larry Herb, the internet's Major Nelson, tweeted kind of a little more of an explanation. I'll just read his tweet. You can continue to use your USB 3.1 plus external hard drives on Xbox Series X and run Xbox One, 360, and OG games directly from the external USB hard drive.
Okay.
Games optimized for Xbox Series X and Velocity architecture need to be run from the internal SSD or the expandable storage drive, which are these proprietary memory cards. So it sounds like backwards compatible stuff will work fine, but if you're running like the Xbox Series X SKU version of the game, you cannot do that from just a standard USB drive.
So now the question becomes, how much are those things going to be? Because that is the thing that people always complain Sony doing with the Vita.
This is the worst thing with the Vita for sure. I mean the Series X does still have a terabyte in there. So I don't know.
Yeah, but we've shown that like after a while that doesn't mean shit all. Like, was it Red Dead Redemption 2 takes up a quarter of that?
Sure, that's true. I mean, I have a terabyte, and it's pretty rare I fill it up. I delete my games pretty regularly. I'm not playing that many at once. So, and again, you can, like you said before, you can move things off and on if you do have the external one.
Which thank God for that.
Yeah, who knows how fast that speed will be, but yeah, I'd be curious how much these will cost too. I can't see them going for crazy amounts because everyone hated that thing. Like, why would they just follow that? But who knows?
Maybe they felt they didn't have a choice.
That must have been the case. Like, they said, like, this is the only way we can do it, and that's probably why it's a proprietary thing. But who knows? That one's a little weird. They talked a little bit about the controller a bit more. It has a share button. It's got grips on the triggers. What was those? It's like 2% smaller to fit more people's hands.
Okay.
12 teraflops. That's a number you should definitely remember. And then let's talk about the PS5. Sony had basically the replacement for what their GDC talk was going to be, where they kind of detailed this stuff. Mark Cerny came out and talked about it, and wow, it was the most boring presentation ever.
Because it's a GDC talk. They're not normally exciting.
Right. I totally get that. I feel like that should have been like vocalized a little more, because I don't think anyone or the majority of people knew that. Because if you were watching like the Twitch chat, it was all just like Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z.
Also, his voice is just really soothing, and like he's kind of boring too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I was gonna put that on actually to like go to sleep the other night, because he has a very, very nice voice.
Tell me about the teraflops, Mark Cerny. So I pulled up a little table kind of comparing the two of them so we can compare and contrast.
Sure.
To me, and it's hard to do exactly one-to-one because they use some different terminology, but it seems like the Xbox is a bit more powerful.
Yeah, from what people are saying, the actual GPU and CPU are stronger.
So in the GPU, Xbox got 12 teraflops. The PlayStation 5 has 10.28.
Mm-hmm.
The memory bandwidth we have for Xbox is 560 gigabytes a second. The PlayStation 5 is 448 gigabytes a second. Series X is going to have a 1 terabyte SSD. PlayStation 5 is going to have an 825 gigabyte SSD, which is such a weird number to pick.
Yeah.
Like at that point, why don't just like do the extra little bit, get to that 1 terabyte?
Like I'm assuming maybe that's like outside of the usual like OS data. Maybe I'm really hoping that's also like not even shrunk down from that as well, because that would be awful.
Well, I would assume this is going to be the biggest number they can say, so the OS will take some up too. Because if this was 1 terabyte and then you had to minus the OS, they would say that, because that's how like Apple does it with their phones. Like they would want to have that number on there, right?
Yeah, that's a fair point, but still, it looks really like weird.
It's a weird number. Like what is 8? Nothing's 825. That's not a weird it's a weird choice. And then they both have 4K Blu-ray drives. It looks like PlayStation 5 can do external storage on it, like normal stuff, normal SSDs. So I don't really know exactly what that would mean. We'd have to kind of see. They're both 8 cores. The CPU on the Series X is at 3.8 gigahertz versus the PlayStation 5 at 3.5 gigahertz. Seems like the X beat it out just by a little bit.
Yeah. So the real thing that everyone's been saying for the PlayStation 5 versus the Xbox is the read speed for the internal storage. The 5.5 gigabytes per second read, and typically 8 to 9 gigabytes compressed. That's the thing that they were trying to push with their GDC talk, and I've seen a lot of developer buzz being like, this is going to change how loading works, and this might even change how like first party games work.
They can literally load stuff behind the player's back as the player's turning. It's extraordinarily fast. Yeah.
But but Microsoft, I don't know if they even said what Microsoft's SSD's read speed is, but it's going to be significantly slower and bottlenecked from what people have been saying.
So that's why it's 825.
Just gave. Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
The reason why it's 825 is because they literally built this SSD with them. They didn't just put one in, even a custom one. This is a SSD built for their system, apparently, to go with like their GPU and everything. Like it's very, very custom built, so it all works together as one ecosystem, even though it's like a lower number basically on everything.
So the real question is that going to be a big enough difference to matter to people? That's going to be the real tell.
I can only speak for myself. You know, I know game sizes are getting bigger, so I'll even round up a bit. That's like 1 extra game I can install on the Xbox. That's not make or break for me, really.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows what the next generation of games is going to look like. You know, there was a time where I only had 1 game installed on my 360, but now games as a service, I keep games around at all times. I'm someone that has a library of Rock Band DLC that I just always want to have there. So who knows what it's going to be like in the next gen? Who knows?
Yep. For sure. I mean, I'm not getting Xbox at all because I have a PC. I'll just upgrade
that thing
my PC.
Looks like a tank. Holy smokes, that thing looks like a tank.
And
I will definitely be, depending on the price, I'll be a day one for Xbox.
I'm gonna get them both day one if I can. I'm gonna try my best.
I'm curious because they still haven't shown what the PS5 is going to look like.
They're still being weirdly like closed,
coy about it.
Yeah, they are.
Because even if E3 had happened this year, they straight up said they weren't going to be there. So like, when are they showing this off?
Well, they probably would have had their own show, like the PlayStation Experience.
But yeah, but you get what I mean, right? Like normally, like that's our time frame of like, all right, this is usually when a company's going to play their major hand, show off their new hardware and stuff. Like, were they going to do something around that time anyways?
Yeah, who knows? And what does it mean now that everything's canceled? But
yeah,
I mean, if you think of the last gen, they announced both of them at E3, and then they shipped that holiday. So it's still ahead. It's still early now.
I just noticed. I looked at your little thing here. You said you don't know what the throughput's on here for the Xbox. So 5.5 raw and 8 or 9 gigs compressed for PlayStation, 2.5 or 2.4 raw and 4.8 compressed for Xbox.
So literally half.
Yeah. Like PlayStation seems to be wanting it so that like their developers make proprietary games for their stuff that like just work better on it. And like maybe a PC that probably won't work as good on Xbox. I think that seems to be where their knives are right now.
That makes sense in a way, and it makes me wonder how significant the difference between the two will be in the long run. Like, will
this is the thing,
optimized version? Yeah, like is it going to be a case where like everything runs better on PS4, PS5, so it's like the preferred system if you're a multi-plat player?
And this is the thing, is that like depending on like let's say Unity, right? If Unity doesn't have a thing to take advantage of PlayStation's thing, it means literally nothing at this point.
I feel like that hasn't been an issue since like the PS3 days. Like even now, the PS4 and the Xbox One are so similar. And the only thing that really differentiates them is like your ecosystem and then the services involved. But in terms of the hardware, these things are pretty similar.
I'm wondering if it's one of those things, though, where they're obviously going to have their Sony first-party studios to just be like, we're building for this thing, which means that game will always be Sony. Like, it locks them into that forever because it just won't work on Xbox. I wonder if there's some of that going on, too.
That's one of my concerns, yeah. That's what I'm curious
Sony they're slowly bringing their stuff to PC. It seems like that's becoming a bit of an initiative. With Death Stranding and then Horizon Zero Dawn. So that might be a bigger push next gen as well.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, one other thing about the PS5 we never really mentioned, backwards compatibility.
Good point.
Yeah. So Xbox they've been really good this generation about backwards compatibility. Like their Xbox One runs things back to the original Xbox.
Right. And they've said
not everything, and they keep adding on. Yeah.
Right. Well, they've stopped no longer. They're not adding any more backwards compat. They stopped that a few months ago. They basically said we've added all that we're going to.
Oh, did they? I thought they were just like taking a break for Series X and then they were going to get back to it. Because they've already said that Series X will run Xbox One. And then they've said it will also still run your 360 and original Xbox stuff.
Right. So the way I interpreted that is it'll basically run anything an Xbox One can run, which is this selective library of the backwards compatibility. Because like I said, they said they were basically done the backwards compatibility initiative. They've added all that they're going to.
Okay.
I haven't myself, I can't recall them saying they're starting it up again, but they have said it's going to run all 4 generations of Xbox, and I just kind of interpreted that as it can basically run whatever an Xbox One can, which is all Xbox One games, plus most of these other ones.
That makes sense.
Which is still really impressive, yeah.
For sure.
PS5, they've stated that they have tested the backwards compatibility of most of the top 100 PS4 games.
Yeah,
and that will be the most popular 100 PS4 games, and that will be roughly what the backwards compatibility will be at launch.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought they were doing a huge initiative of trying to get further back.
That rumor that they had going around for everything the PS1, I kept saying like that's too ambitious. It doesn't financially make sense.
It does seem crazy, especially because they hadn't set anything up. Like Xbox has been working on this for years.
Yeah,
setting up this backwards compatibility. I mean, launching with that would have been a crazy, like, wow, look at this.
Totally.
But it does seem like a huge undertaking. Like, it's really ambitious for sure.
Yeah.
It does seem, it's just going to be those 100 PS4 games.
Yep.
Which is probably what, the majority of players that'll satisfy them.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look great when you're comparing the two.
Sure.
Yeah, but like, let's keep in mind, like, Xbox One was pretty much the same when it launched. Like, this is literally like they're just an entire generation behind at this point. By PlayStation 6, they'll be caught up, essentially.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's no other
Hopefully.
way to put it. Hopefully, yeah, right. They're like you were saying, like their way they've been going this generation's been a little odd. The way they've been treating this coming generation.
Well, they're still in the lead, so they kind of can.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
last time they did that, the PS3 came out.
Yep. No, it keeps leapfrogging back and forth.
Yeah.
It's weird, yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully they just don't limp into this next gen.
Yeah.
Paul, if you want to continue with the ones you added.
Yeah, Exit the Gungeon, that thing that came out on Apple Arcade that I was lamenting I didn't have Apple Arcade to play, is finally available on Steam.
It's also on
Switch as well.
It's on Switch, yeah.
So that is available. I have not tried it yet, but I am raring to go at any time now.
Everything I've seen about that looks really good.
Yeah, I'm excited. A new Overwatch hero came out. I literally know nothing about this, but apparently it's news. I don't know what she does. Her name is Echo.
She was rumored for like a long time because she was like a spirit robot or something. Like I remember back when I was playing.
Yeah,
this is a rumored upcoming character. I didn't look into it because I'm pretty disconnected from Overwatch. I do know this is the last one they're adding, until Overwatch 2 comes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised they announced another hero considering.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. I think she's on the PTR as well right now, but
that sounds
not 100%
correct.
Sure. Yeah. In more news, I wish I could tell you more about. I can just give you the basics. There's a Hearthstone expansion, Ashes of Outland, which adds a new hero for Illidan, the Demon Hunter, and apparently his whole like deal and that whole like class of cards focuses on minions you play that when they die they get reshuffled back in your deck stronger, so they come back stronger after they've been taken out, making for like pretty hard late game strategies, but also like they're pretty strong to begin with as well. There's also
strike me down and I will only come back stronger than you could ever imagine kind of feeling.
Exactly. That's right.
I see. I think I heard this was the first like character added since the beginning of the game.
Yeah. So completely new hero, as in like not just like a skin, like literally like warrior, priest, mage, like a whole archetype of hero added. So pretty big. I wish I cared more. I don't really, but like it's for people that do. There you go. Huge. Nintendo had an Indie Direct, the Indie World Showcase.
Indie Direct with one of the people giving narration, John Vignacchi.
Yeah, that was
excited
funny.
to hear that guy.
Yeah,
that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a whole bunch of stuff here. I guess like, did you guys watch this thing?
I did. I'm gonna kind of preface this with I didn't think much of this was like a big deal.
I mean, it's an Indie Direct. That was the whole thing about it.
For sure, I totally get it. Yeah. All indie games, and because but the majority of them are just unknown to me, so there isn't really some like heavy hitters where I could be like, "Whoa, this is coming! They got this one." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, so Exit the Gungeon was really the big one that stuck.
And that was their one more thing at the end for sure. Exactly.
And Swery's new game, but we already knew about that one.
Yeah. So just personally, it felt more of a sleeper.
Okay.
I can call it a few ones that I think look good, but is there anything else you wanted to say, Paul?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to do. Baldo looks great. Holy crap, that animation looks good. That's the one that looks like a Studio Ghibli game.
Yeah, that one animated real nice.
Yeah, that was really cool looking.
I liked the following one, I Am Dead. I think that one looked pretty cool.
Oh, see, I didn't like that one at all.
Okay.
Well, it looks fine. Seeing Cyanide and Happiness made me realize that I don't think I've ever liked a Cyanide and Happiness game, and that comic is okay though. I don't mind it.
Yeah, that didn't do much for me at all.
Quantum League looks worse than the PC version, obviously, but that still looks like that game where you play a bunch of times and it makes clones each time of what you did the last turn. Good Life is what I'm looking for.
This one I think is the biggest news. Last Campfire, new game from Hello Games,
from Hello,
the developers behind No Man's Sky.
Sure.
Just kind of cool to see them doing something new.
Sure. It was cool to see Pixel Junk get brought up again. It's been a minute since I've seen a Pixel Junk thing, but Eden 2 is coming out. Eldest Souls looks like almost like Titan Souls, that indie game where like it was just a boss rush thing, but instead of using just a single arrow, which was kind of the gimmick for that one, this seems just like, I don't know, a hack and slash, and that's
exactly like Children of Morta.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, Moving Out. Like,
Moving Out. Yeah, I'm excited about Moving Out, but also because it's only going to have local co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Which, after playing Overcooked 2 and just seeing how much that game improved with online co-op, it just seems like such a step back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still the Steam sharing or Steam local couch mode or whatever it is.
Right, but I mean, ideally I would play this on Xbox.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's just my one complaint. Moving Out looks fantastic. Yeah. It's just so much easier in this post-coronavirus world to not have someone come over to my house.
Sure, fair. All right.
All right. Continuing on these, I added these stories. Rainbow Six Siege, they put out a little release explaining kind of their thought process of the next consoles and what Rainbow Six Siege is going to work with this. I bring this up because this is kind of the first thing I had seen about how a developer is going to tackle the whole new SKU thing. And I'll just read you the full statement since it's pretty good. The question was, Year 5 will also see the launch of new consoles from Microsoft and Sony. How is the Siege team approaching the next generation? And the response, which I actually don't know who this is because I'm looking at a screenshot, is Siege is going to be on the new consoles. The only thing we are communicating right now is the fact that we are supporting cross-generation matchmaking. For example, PlayStation 5 players can play with PlayStation 4 players, and Xbox Series X players can play with Xbox One players. The game will be backwards compatible, meaning that you can take your disc of Rainbow Six Siege on PS4 and put it in your PS5, or take your Xbox One disc and put it in your Xbox Series X. What we know for sure is that we don't want to break our community, to split our community, and we don't want to make you buy another Rainbow Six Siege at full price.
Right.
Which makes sense.
And I think there's a few key things we can take out of here and kind of hyper-analyze. Full price, I think, is one of those. Ubisoft was the developer who last gen had that like $10 upgrade initiative for like Assassin's Creed 4 if you wanted like the Xbox One version, the PS4 version, and you already had it on the 360 or PlayStation 3. That could be hinting that it's kind of going that route again. That's my interpretation of that. Is there going to do something similar? I mean,
that was successful for them, right?
Right. Xbox or Microsoft has come out saying they're not going to be charging for that kind of stuff. You buy it once, you get it. And Project Red jumped on board and said, "Oh, we're going to follow this initiative for
Witcher and Cyberpunk."
No, not Witcher. For Cyberpunk. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if developers are going to go against that. I think we kind of mentioned. I feel like once the community latches onto this, they're going to just attack developers who don't give this up for free.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But at the start of the launch will be kind of your first chance to implement whatever weird pricing you want, and then the industry will just kind of massage that out.
They have been saying they kind of want to look at the idea of a free-to-play model with Siege too, as well. So who knows? Maybe that's the way they implement this a little bit more. Start charge because they still charge for their seasons like every year, so they're still getting like the $40 or whatever every year.
Right, and I believe you still need to pay to buy that game, don't you? That game is not free.
That's what I'm saying. Correct. They've been looking into the idea of making it free to play. Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do that and then just charged for what is essentially your battle pass, and it comes with the new characters or whatever.
That's kind of the way multiplayer is going anyway. So
these days, yeah, that's the standard.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting. So I'm assuming if you do put your disc in, or you just transfer over your, PlayStation 4 SKU of that game, it's just not going to look and run the nicest. So it'll be running just like an inferior version of it, unless you paid or didn't pay to unlock the new generation SKU,
right.
The upgrade. Maybe they're just selling you, if last time it was a $10 unlock code to access the 4K resolution or whatever.
Right.
It remains to be seen, but we'll find out in the coming months.
Yep.
Sea of Stars was announced. This is the new game from Sabotage Studio, the developers behind The Messenger.
Yeah.
Nothing really to add to that. We're just fans of The Messenger, so I brought up that they have a new game coming out.
It looks fucking
very
great.
Chrono Triggery.
Yeah, I'm super into it. But yeah, there's like nothing
RPG,
to talk about yet.
Old school RPG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now there's a Kickstarter if this is something you're interested in. And the trailer, obviously.
And they have made it, just like for people wondering already. So.
Oh, it passed the Kickstarter thing, you're saying?
Yeah, their Kickstarter goal is 130. Well, I see it in Canadian, 133,000, and they have 166,252. So,
right. I did not know Sabotage Studios was Canadian.
Yeah, Montreal, I believe.
Yeah.
Quebec City.
Yep. Oh, never mind. So I guess Quebec. Yeah.
Quebec.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so check that out if that's an interest to you.
Yeah.
Steam has their Spring Game Festival going on right now. Just kind of a PSA. There's 40 plus game demos that you can play for free until March 23rd.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Because this is the stuff that they would have shown at GDC, right? Like a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Probably.
No, because like Jeff Keighley was basically like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, this is the initiative to get these indies that spent all this time like getting GDC ready to actually show their game out to the world. It's cool stuff.
GDC was postponed, as we know, a month ago or whatever it was. Yeah. The replacement date has been announced. It is going to be held again in San Francisco on August 4th to 6th.
Okay.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, hopefully this is blown over by then. So we'll see.
But yeah, so there's their plan. Final Fantasy VII, Square issued a quick statement on Twitter basically saying, hey, for people who pre-ordered physical copies of the remake, those might get delayed due to the coronavirus. Just kind of bring this up as kind of the first time I'm seeing games starting to get delayed because of it. I'm sure it's not the last time.
Yep.
Oh, definitely not.
As someone who has a physical copy of that coming, I hope mine doesn't get delayed.
Yeah. I mean, people are already complaining like Animal Crossing, if they order from Amazon, is getting delayed by like 2 days. So
sure.
And that game was probably more up the pipeline than this is.
Yep.
Okay, this news came today, and this is batshit insane.
This is terrible. Yeah.
Oh God.
Kotaku, I saw Vice also got this article. Got a statement from GameStop basically saying that they can stay open during lockdown because they consider themselves essential retail.
Look, my job straight up depends on being able to buy games. They're not essential. They're really not.
Yeah. True.
As someone who worked for that company for a number of years, they're really not essential. Also, this doesn't even remotely surprise me that they would pull this stunt.
I'm just going to read you some choice quotes. Quote from their article: due to the products we carry that enable and enhance our customers' experience in working from home, we believe GameStop is classified as essential retail and therefore is able to remain open during this time.
Oh my God.
I'll read you one other quote because this is where it gets really crazy. We have received reports of local authorities visiting stores in an attempt to enforce closure despite our classification. Store managers are approved to provide the document linked below to the law enforcement as needed. And the document basically says, please just contact GameStop HQ. We're supposed to be allowed to remain open. I don't get how they're allowed to do this.
They're probably not, which means don't be surprised in the next day or two if you either see a class action lawsuit or you see them forcibly shut down by local states and governments.
Yeah, this kind of came on the back. I was seeing over the last couple days, some people were reporting like, why is GameStop still open? I've been talking to, X number of employees who are just kind of like, they don't know why they're open. They're scared
I know why
they're open.
I know why they're open. It's really fucking simple.
Is it because they're essential retail?
No, God, no. It's because if they close, they're going to lose so much money. They're actually going to go bankrupt and have to close more stores. They're literally trying to avoid bankruptcy. This is why they're doing this.
And it's this weird gray area because legally for their stockholders, like they have to do whatever they can to like not do that. It's weird, but this is gross.
But also legally, like for example, the San Francisco Bay Area, everything, you have to stay inside. You are not allowed to go outside.
Sure, but that's not federally is the thing, right? Like, that's the thing. That's why this is a problem.
Supposed to be closed, unless they're essential, and the essential ones are grocery stores and pharmacies.
Yeah, sure. Let's be real here. Like, don't be surprised if they're literally just stalling so they can get Doom and Animal Crossing out the door, and then after they have those sales, then
I'm kind of thinking that
on,
too.
Monday.
That's a good point.
I'm literally expecting if they're going to announce something on Monday, and be like, yeah, now we're closed for a while.
I think so too. Yeah. Also, the best part about this is that Daniel Ahmed posted the thing that, like, to be fair, they are essential for this guy, and it's the dude that wrote about using GameStop as a bank.
As a bank.
Every payday, he would just go pre-order as much things as he could using his whole paycheck, and then taking out money by canceling pre-orders when he needed them. It's really good.
So
I also saw another one. This is from the Hard Times. GameStop refuses to close doors unless local authorities sign up for power-up rewards.
That's another good one.
That's a good one.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
This is actually insane. This is absolutely crazy. It also makes me just like want to never shop at GameStop again.
I don't have that luxury because I have. They're like the only store that carries some of the weird, obscure shit I like to get physically. But
Amazon? I feel like Amazon is
Amazon doesn't carry some of the ones I like to pick up that GameStop does. It's really weird.
That is weird.
It's kind of frustrating, honestly. But like, I don't know if it's going to be different for EB Games. I'm not sure because usually the Canadian office is a bit more sane.
Well, also the it's technically a different company, isn't it?
Yeah, it's technically a different company, and also we're not as locked down as the US is right now. We have a lot fewer cases by comparison.
That's true. Like, wait till like Vancouver or Toronto passes something because those are your guys' hotspots.
Yeah. I'm honestly, my expectation is probably like that Monday I said for GameStop might actually just be Canada's, and then like a week later, America's has no choice but to do it.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
It's gross, and I feel bad for the employees.
But like my local EB, half their staff is already out sick. So,
this was an actual shock to me when I saw these headlines.
It's crazy, absolute crazy.
So I saw people also stressing like, "Hey, Reggie is not on the board of directors yet." So like all those companies, like those CEOs they have coming on, they don't get control until like sometime in April.
The thing is that they're not going to get control. It's just an advisory board. They're going to say, here's some ideas.
But like I would hope their advisories, what the fuck are you doing?
Probably, but I'm just saying like it's not like their word that like controls it. So
I know, but still fucking stupid.
Yeah, it sucks. It's awful to those employees, and my heart goes out to them.
Yeah, Sean, as someone who also used to work there, are you really fucking glad we don't work there anymore?
Yeah. And just in general, I'm very fortunate I can work from home. Just to shout out a couple of retail places I have seen on Twitter. The Lego store and Hot Topic of all places, have both said they're going to do paid time off during this for their employees. They do not want them working. Good for them.
I mean, here's the thing is that you can afford to be good if you have the money to. GameStop can't afford to do that. Like, honestly, GameStop should have just closed a while ago. I just kind of want them to die out, honestly.
Right. I am surprised they still exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the bad part is that they're just endangering people, their employees, and they're making it okay for people to go out to those stores when people are not supposed to be going near each other. But
yeah.
All right. Some lighter news. Last bit of news here. We got the 12 finalists for the World Video Game Hall of Fame sent in.
Yep.
This is the Strong National Museum of Play announced the 2020 World Hall of Fame finalists. Are they only doing a couple? Like, what exactly? Why are they finalists?
They only do a couple at a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now, so they have 12. We should go through the list, and then I think we should like pick a couple we think should win. I actually think
it's a strong list from what I saw.
Yep.
The list here is Snake.
Yep.
Smash Bros. Melee. Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Uncharted 2.
Yep.
GoldenEye. Guitar Hero. Centipede. Bejeweled. Minecraft. NBA Jam. King's Quest. And Frogger.
Those are all exemplary games.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised to see Guitar Hero there, but I think it should be there.
Definitely.
So I bring it to you if you can only pick 3.
I mean, I'm gonna fill it out right now. There's no reason.
I need to see that list again.
Here, I'm gonna put this in our chat. I'll put it in the actual chat too. You can pick 3.
And it looks like they do bring a couple each year. They have a list of the games that have already been in there, and they do have a few for each year. Some of the past games are like Donkey Kong, Doom, Final Fantasy VII, Halo, Zelda 1, Microsoft Solitaire. Good for them.
Okay.
All right, this is a strong list. Let's see here if I can narrow this down to 3.
I chose Minecraft as mine that I voted for.
So you can only vote for one?
You vote for one, yeah. They grab the top 3 that gets the most public votes, but each person can only do one.
Okay, well, what are your 3 if you were going to pick the 3?
Minecraft. I'm just looking at the list here again.
So ones that I don't quite think should be here is, I don't know about where in the world is Carmen Sandiego should be on this list. That seems like one of the weaker ones.
I don't know. I think it's one of the stronger ones because it's like one of the best well-known edutainment games, and it literally spawned multiple TV shows.
Okay, sure. Okay,
I'm gonna be the bad guy. Smash Bros. Melee shouldn't be on here.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with you on that.
Yeah, that would be another one. Centipede and Snake are so similar in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Snake earns it more than Centipede.
That one's hard for me. I don't actually know which one of them I would choose.
I'm going to drop Uncharted 2 as well. I'm just going to say sequels maybe not the best idea to have here.
Well, so I disagree with you there because I would say that is the best Uncharted.
That is the best Uncharted, but most people would also say Melee is the best Smash Bros.
Right, for sure. But that's why I'm saying I don't think it being a sequel should disqualify it. And I fundamentally think both of those sequels did something much bigger. It's a better,
but here's the thing: it's a better game than Uncharted 1. I agree, and Melee is a better game than 64, but it's not groundbreaking.
I don't know. I don't think any of the Uncharted should be on there. Easily.
I feel most of these other games, in some way, shape, or form, are more groundbreaking than these 2 sequels that are here.
For sure.
I would also argue Bejeweled 2 should also not be there because of that.
I think it's just Bejeweled 1, isn't it?
Oh, is that? I thought that was a 2 on that. No, you're right. That is Bejeweled 1. Never mind then. Take that back.
Yeah, I think it's definitely lower on the list, but I still do think Uncharted 2 was quite like a milestone for games when that came out. That was pretty impressive.
It seems weird Frogger isn't already mentioned in.
But a lot of these also already feel like they should be in there. Like, how is NBA Jam not in there? How is Minecraft not in there?
I think I'm with Paul. I think Minecraft is the number 1 slot here.
Yeah, Minecraft would definitely gets one of my votes. My personal vote for 3 would be one of them I'm bouncing off of. I think Minecraft and GoldenEye should be in there. And I'm bouncing between NBA Jam and Guitar Hero. I'm thinking I would give it a Guitar Hero simply because of the genre it launched. That's also why I put GoldenEye in there, because of the genre it launched.
I would do Guitar Hero.
Because I know that game is aged really bad, because I literally raced it last night.
Oh, gross.
I literally played GoldenEye yesterday.
I like that 3, but like I feel like Bejeweled needs to be in here.
Bejeweled also kind of should be in there,
because 3 is
a big deal now.
Hello, like
these are all big deal. Really, they should all be allowed in.
They're all
kind of dumb that they're just picking 3 out of this.
To be nominated is a prize.
Yeah,
Frogger should also be in here. Like Frogger should be in here.
But like Minecraft might be one of the most important innovations in all of gaming, let alone the last decade.
I think we all agree Minecraft is number 1 here, right?
Guitar Hero I would put in there because I love it and it's so important to me. And then the fact that Frogger's not already in there, that's probably just my third, because it's like, why the fuck isn't Frogger already in this? What?
It's Frogger. Guys, it is Frogger.
And I don't even have strong opinions about Frogger, because who fucking cares about Frogger? But like...
All right.
Wow.
I don't know if these are all the inductees here, but this is the list of currently inducted into the Hall of Fame, the World Video Game Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Colossal Cave Adventure, which is it looks like a Commodore 64 game.
Yeah.
Because I see a cassette tape. The original Donkey Kong.
Sure.
The original Doom.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
Halo 1. And if Halo 1's in there, then I can see the argument for maybe not adding GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's
But didn't GoldenEye come first?
Yeah, but the Halo, like GoldenEye is what started console FPSs, and then Halo is what improved it and kind of made it like a big deal.
Yeah,
but then again, that
was like his history.
Yeah. John Madden Football.
Okay.
Specifically shows a Genesis version, but I'm going to assume let's just go back all the way to the original. Zelda 1.
Dude, this list is real long.
Yeah. Solitaire.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 1. Oregon Trail. Pac-Man. Pokemon Red and Green. Pong. Oh, this is bringing up more than I thought. Sims 1.
You're actually nearing the end, so don't worry.
Yeah. Sims 1. Sonic 1. Space Invaders. Space War, which makes sense to have there. Street Fighter 2 and Mario Brothers 1.
All classics. Every single one of these.
So it seems like they started this in 2015 because it was Super Mario Bros. And Pong.
Yeah.
And Pac-Man. Like, of course, those are in there. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
I think I got to do Minecraft, Bejeweled. Like, yeah, maybe Frogger. I would love to get Guitar Hero in there.
Yeah.
But I feel like Guitar Hero probably earned its right.
I think so.
It also just those games fizzled out so fast.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say fast. Like they lasted 2 generations.
Right. But then they're just like, that's it. They're done. Like no one is making a new one of those.
Yeah, but no one's making new Frogger games either. So let's be real here.
Crossy Road came out a few years ago, and
son of a bitch
came out.
All right.
The other month, and it's not great. But I love Crossy Road. Also, they came out with a new Frogger. Remember on Apple Arcade, it had a new Frogger game.
Oh shit, you're right. There is a new Frogger. Never mind.
All right, that's it for news. If you want to send in questions, because we're about to do questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I'll read this first question from Junkie GS. You are now in charge of revitalizing a dead IP. You can do whatever you want with it, but if it is not successful, you will die.
Oh, God.
What do you choose? And what do you do to make it a success?
Well, here's the question. What constitutes successful here? Because I could just choose like a Nintendo IP and then I'd be safe.
True.
Like I want F-Zero back, and I know enough people that want F-Zero back that it would probably sell at least 1 million copies.
F-Zero is going to be my answer, and it would be a first-person racer.
I wouldn't want it to be a first-person racer. I don't like first-person racing.
Yeah, man. It'll go so fast you can't even see anything except for like a little cone in front of you.
Right. Well, then don't pick a Nintendo one if you need to make it a little harder for yourself or something.
I guess, yeah. All right, if we're gonna take it that way,
First off, you got to find a dead IP, right?
Yeah. E.T.
All right, let's just pick one for the group. How do we make it good enough that it's going to be a success, and I think success is like, is financially profitable in some way. It's a huge hit.
It's a first-person shooter where your only weapon is your finger, and then you zap people, and at the end of each level, you have a phone that you call home on.
See, I don't think people care about E.T. I don't think anyone's going to want to play an E.T. game.
I don't know. They did an E.T. commercial for like the Super Bowl or something last year, and people were in love with that.
That's true. They did bring him back, and they got the original actor of the kid. It was for like an AT&T ad.
Something like that, yeah.
Flatman's like, well, Paul's dead.
I get what you meant.
This is like Shark Tank, but you just get killed if they don't take your deal. So what do we do to make E.T. cool? I don't think E.T.'s cool. Do you give him like sunglasses and like a backwards cap?
Isn't this literally the problem we had in like the 360 generation where they try to make everything too edgy?
Yeah.
This is just Shadow the Hedgehog and Bomberman X-Zero all over again.
You play that game like every month.
No, I don't.
I feel like you're always playing Bomberman X-Zero.
I have not played Bomberman X-Zero in like 3 years at least.
You're clean. You've been clean for 3 years. I'd love to see it. I don't. E.T. Man, you picked a super dead IP.
Yeah. But we have to revitalize it.
We do have to revitalize it.
You have to put boobs in there somewhere. I just don't know where.
So I was going to go the other way. You have to put building in there, like crafting.
Okay. So Minecraft.
Yeah, you have to craft
ET.
the phone to phone home, or you can have to craft the spaceship to get you home.
What if it's like a survival game and you're ET?
God.
So there's like survival mechanics, and you have to like craft fires and stuff. Maybe you're like lost in the forest.
This is good. And then 99 other ETs drop down from space. And the last one gets the phone.
You got to find a bike, you got to find a kid, and you got to find a blanket. And then and they're all racing at the end.
Right.
So, but the circle is just cops, right?
Yeah. Holding walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just want a 1980s battle royale at that point.
To be fair, if that game exists, it might be better to be dead. I don't want to live in this world anymore. Suku writes in and says, favorite and least favorite ice levels.
All of New Super Luigi U. Actually, sorry, the answer to least favorite ice levels is all of them.
Yeah, I'm looking up ice levels right now to see if there's
favorite
any
is
that are
Kirby's because you never have to touch the ice.
That's true. Okay. The hard thing with the ice level is like when you stand on it, you're immediately not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
True. Although Ori has an ice area and you don't slide, right?
Well, here's the thing. That's literally like the deal breakers. Like, do you actually have to deal with ice physics? Yes or no? If it's just cosmetic, then it's fine.
Yeah, true. I think that's true. Yeah.
I'm going to assume by them saying ice level means you do have to. Otherwise, it would be snow themed level or whatever, right? In that case, none of them are good, probably. Right?
So, yeah, a good level where it's slippery, right?
Yeah. Sometimes they're fun to do in, like, racing games, but that's probably about it.
The weird thing is, though, is as much as they're, like, not great, I don't want them to be, like, removed forever, because I want to, like, have platformers that have, here's the challenge for this world, things are slippery. Like, I want to have an ice level in a Mario game.
Okay. Sure.
It's never going to be my favorite, but it's almost like it's like a necessary sacrifice. It has to be there so that everything else is better. If that makes sense.
It's like added flavor, essentially.
Yeah. Like it keeps things interesting.
Yeah, I can understand that.
If there is no bad, how can we tell what is good?
That's true.
Ooh.
If nothing is ice, isn't everything just ice?
Oh, God.
Wow. All right, next question, also from Suku. Should every game allow remapping controls? Yes.
Yep.
Sure. There will always be a default, and more options are almost always appreciated. But are there any games where it shouldn't be?
Nope.
No. Maybe a control scheme that's so iconic that changing it would be detrimental in some way or grant an unfair advantage. No. And if games always had remappable controls, would gaming be different as we know it today? Yes. It'd be more approachable.
Yep.
Where would we be without WASD or right trigger console FPS?
So I know this question is pretty like easy as we just slowly answered it as we went through.
Yeah.
I do think there is something kind of interesting about the last part. If you were able to remap the controls all the way, like I don't know if we would get to the standard like left trigger to aim, right trigger to shoot, because
But
everyone would have kind of
the
found
idea
their
is
own.
you can make whatever you want. So why do we
Yeah.
need a standard when everyone has what they want?
Well, because I feel like the standard arose because it worked out to be like the best, like the most natural,
Yeah, but
or did
what I'm saying is you don't need a standard if you can just change anything to whatever you want.
But isn't
For
this
sure.
like a weird chicken and egg thing? It's like, well, the reason why it feels good to us is because we grew up with it.
Yeah, I think it is a chicken and egg thing. And I was kind of realizing that as I was saying it.
Yeah.
Because like if everything was remappable, would we still arise at like would we come to what it is now? Would we still
Some
have left trigger,
people
right
would,
trigger?
some people wouldn't, and that would be okay because the game would account for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do think like the A or X button would still be jump. You know, it's just
Probably.
like the closest one. Like I feel like some things would rise
Okay.
to the top.
Like standards would still exist, but they just wouldn't need to, is my point.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
here's like the actual answer. If you were making a game and the sole purpose of that game was to test people's coordination or something, then you have to make it so it's the literal same for everybody across the board, because that's literally the point of the game, is how people deal with this thing. So like the actual answer is you could if you made your game based around the idea that that needs to be part of the gameplay. Otherwise, if you're just making a game and it's like you interact with the world in whatever way you want, they don't really care, then it should be remappable.
I did play some of the Call of Duty Warzone
Okay.
This week, and the ping system is up on the D-pad, and I hate that so much. I hate it so goddamn much. You know, I play a lot of Apex, and I'm so used to just using the right bumper. And what's really great about that is I can ping things while I am moving and while I am looking around. Like it is not interfering with my two thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
But for that up one, I have to either stop running or I have to like reach across the controller and stop aiming.
Can you change that?
Ping something.
Or no? I don't know.
You be able to. I didn't look into it. I'm just going off the default controls.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
So that's just a side anecdote.
Also, I didn't answer you fully last week. You can be revived from death even after the whole
they can buy you
gulag
back,
thing.
yes.
They can buy you back. Yeah.
That gulag thing is so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially how you just have to like wait for your turn to 1v1 this guy. So you're just like running around looking at two dudes fighting.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's like the most gamey thing of a battle royale mode I can think of. All right, Boko writes, I've been clearing out the stockroom at my job, a chain department store, and I found out that we still have our old demo station for the PlayStation 3. I know a few of you used to work at EB Games. Did you ever have anything that hung around much longer than necessary?
All the time. I remember when Sean and I were working in the same store, we still had our DS download kiosk, which I think became obsolete like multiple years before.
Where was like in the back? I don't remember that.
It was hidden in the front, actually. Remember where I used to keep the stereo? Like, underneath that, in like a hidden compartment, was actually where the download DS.
Like behind the desk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it. I don't remember that at all. Yeah. I remember at the front of the store we had I think we had a Wii set up that had, was it Tatsunoko versus Capcom 3?
Wii was in the back, and the PS3 was the one in the front, the one that always had MotorStorm on.
Oh yeah, that I don't quite remember that one, but I'll take your word for it. There must have been stuff in the back room though that was super old.
Oh yeah, totally. Like all the EBs I've worked at, like depending on how management was, there was always just like leftover old stuff. But usually head office wanted it back to try to recoup some money off of them.
Yeah. We also got to like take home like promotional stuff, I think, like posters.
Yeah. Well, you weren't supposed to.
Oh, I took a bunch of posters.
But every staff member did it. Like one thing that people might not realize, like guidebooks for games, we're not like once they're like getting rid of them, we're not allowed to give them away to people. They get zeroed out of the system. You rip off the cover of them, and then throw the rest away and mail in the cover to get the reimbursement.
Yeah, that's a classic like magazine thing. Yeah.
Shit's weird, man. Linebeck, final question, what's a question you've always dreaded getting at job interviews? For me, it's always been my medical history, as I have to be completely honest about it, but it can cost me the job pretty easily.
That sounds bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the one I can say for me down here,
yeah,
I don't mention the visa until I have to.
Sure.
Because it is such a thing. Because I want them to. So that's the thing. Is like, I don't know exactly this person's scenario, but to me, I would not mention it. Like I would lie, whatever the real bad thing is. If you knew it was such a deal breaker.
Sure.
Because I kind of go into it with the mindset of like, I want them to want me. I want them to like basically be offering me that job and then go, oh, by the way, there's this. And I know that can be hit or miss for, how you want to look into it.
Sure. I hate anything that's like, actually it was just said in the chat, like, what's your biggest weakness? What do you think your biggest flaw is or whatever? Because it's like, well, you got an hour. We could go over
isn't
everything.
The strategy there always like, you pick something that's not like terrible. And then you say, I have this and this is how I manage it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I'm improving it. Isn't that kind of the whole?
I mean, yeah, you can bullshit literally whatever you want for sure. With any question.
Right, that's usually the way
I guess my thing is that reading this question, I don't have a thing where like if I answer this, that I'm probably not going to get the job. So I can't relate, unfortunately.
Sure. You have anything, John?
Not really, no. To be fair, I've been on both sides of this.
Mm-hmm.
Having to like obviously do the questions and asking the questions to someone else. Like I hired Sean.
He did.
So yeah.
So like honestly, it was Batman was. He also asked me something about deactivating a bomb.
Good, you do remember I asked you that. Yeah, one of my favorite questions to ask was like, you're locked in a room, you've got a bomb, there are 3 colored cords on it. Which one do you cut and why? And it was a test to see how they would take action and their like logistical thinking around it.
I think my answer was something like, well, in TV shows it's always the red one, but that one seems like too obvious, so I'd probably pick like not the red one.
Yeah, I think you actually answered green.
I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it. I remember that. I remember you asking me how Batman was because you sold it to me a week prior.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for questions. If you have questions for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Ori.
Ori.
Yeah, mine's Ori as well. Look at that.
Whoa. Nice. Agreement. Game of the week.
That is the game of the week for sure. If you have Game Pass, download it. It's free. Yep. Happy Animal Crossing Day. Happy Doom Day to our listeners. Hopefully you're playing one of those 2 right now. Otherwise, yeah. So we'll see you next week. Next week might be our Murder by Numbers episode. We have to schedule that, but it's soon. It's coming up soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.